You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN+. We're in Orlando, Florida. Beautiful campus at UCF where classes resume tomorrow. But this is the reason the students were motivated to get back in a timely manner, because Johnny Dawkins has himself a squad. And how about this tip? The 18-year-old Mustafa Sham up against the 24-year-old Hunter Dickinson, and it's into the hands of Jordan Ivy Curry, a UCF team with 3 of the top 11 scores in the Big 12. And this dude, Keyshawn Hall, has been nearly unstoppable. Hit his first 9 in that road win against Texas Tech, but a miss there.
Well, that's great one-on-one defense. That's a matchup I'm going to be watching all night.
Shaquille Moore, number 0 in blue, making his first start since last season at Mississippi State. And there is a quick touch inside to Dickinson, the most accomplished big in the game right now.
The area in which he probably has a small bit of concern is on the defensive side, as we've seen 2 baskets, 2 easy baskets. Good cut right there.
Dickinson inside. Here's Adams again. The dish. Harris for 3. And it rims out. Hall probing to the paint. Juice. Ivy Curry rips it.
Right there.
Oh, what a play back inside to Harris. He weaves around, now floats it. Too strong. Dickinson cleaning up. And there is his second bucket from point-blank range.
Early on, no blocking out.
Has been dealing with a nagging foot injury that popped up during preseason camp, as Hall has the shot blocked by Dickinson. Jayhawks trying to run. Mayo looks him off and lays it in. Zeke Mayo.
Yeah, I mean, right now, adding Shaquille Moore provides a lot on the defensive side.
5 on the shot clock. Mayo driving, tough finish. And the youngster coming in with some thunder, Flory Bidunga.
He has been so impressive this season. His versatility on defense, how hard he competes on both sides of the basketball. Bidunga has been phenomenal.
And there to see 3 unleashed and ripped by Coleman. Maybe got away with the walk. Inside wide open. And the miss bunny by Yosis. It was right there for Rokas Yosis. Could not connect.
And these are the plays that you have to be able to convert when you're playing against a good team. Good pass right there by Coleman. But you gotta go finish that, big fella.
On Yosis, that sends Zeke Mayo to the line. It's Alabama that we were talking about. Mayo taking it past Sellers, tough to the hoop and good. And there is the second bucket of the afternoon for Zeke Mayo.
I love the pace that he plays with. Off of the ball screen, he is always in control, and he does as good of a job as anybody.
The lefty.
Playing off 2 feet.
Sellers got his miss. Darius Johnson for 3, rattles it in. And Darius Johnson with his first bucket of the game.
He's going to have a big night tonight. You let him get hot, him and Curry. They're like microwaves. They can heat up real quickly.
UCF has a few of those guys, not including Sellers, that can get you buckets in a hurry. There's old reliable Hunter Dickinson. Sham with 29 blocks in 12 games in his rookie campaign. That's the same pace through 12 as Taco Fall in his first year. Dickinson, that is exactly where he wants to get it, and one of the best. And down goes David Coit. Harris charging the other way. No call. Darius Johnson eyes up. Sellers finishes past Hunter Dickinson. Dickinson, and a whistle before Hunter Dickinson. All 16 of their points inside the paint.
Are his biggest test of the season up to this point. This is the best big man.
He leaves campus early and arrive in Orlando ahead of those storms. And that is what the Jayhawks have been desperate for. Rylan Griffin getting it going from outside.
And that's what he has done so far on this year's Kansas team. Knock it down from deep, but they need more than just that from that young man.
Adams says, get out of my house. Coit turns the corner. Tough lay-in. Dickinson with the putback. And Kansas on 11-2 run, and they are doing. Coleman with the kick. On the pull up is no good for Benny Williams. Griffin turns it over to Hall. Adams does it again. Oh, we've got a whistle. Westlake High School down in the Austin area, but it sends Hall.
Now he has the potential to see 2 free throws go in. And once again, you got to take another look at this block. Goodness
Is that a foul?
gracious.
Is that a foul?
I mean, yeah.
I guess.
I guess.
Well, Keyshawn Hall goes to the line and gets both of them. 10-point lead now for the Jayhawks. Zeke Mayo will lob it inside. Dickinson, fantastic hands, and he's able to another opportunity. 2-on-1, and there's a rejection from Benny Williams.
Right there, UCF does a better job defending it. Keyshawn Hall on the backside, there was 2.
Williams for 3, in and out. And a foul on the floor after the shot. That's going against Kansas, and that's going to send Ivy Curry. So there's a technical foul.
So, opposite side of things got fouled, and he let the referees hear about it.
Ivy Curry to the line.
Last year, Wisconsin. But can you do the little things? Can you help influence winning in ways outside of putting the ball in the hole? Can you get those stops? Can you play on defense?
Got the offensive rebound after the Mayo miss. Here is Storr, transferred from Wisconsin. Dickinson, it's a lot, filling it up, King. Backdoor cut, Harris cannot finish, had a good look. Storr, the rebound, charging hard. Dickinson can. Mayo, the touch to the freshman. Ibaduga is met by Osis, got denied. Still fighting. Up and in. Talk about upside. The youngster, wearing number 40, has it, King.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's Sellers, 2 points in his return to the starting 5. He was the number 4 leading scorer in the Big 12 last year. And Storr checking him defensively. Storr wins that battle until the very end, and Sellers will.
And he's trying to find ways in order to be inserted into the offense when you already have guys.
Really tough if you are Johnny Dawkins, because Sellers and Johnson have been your dudes. They are your returning stars, but you also balance that with the team that was rolling, with Sellers just playing in 2 games off the bench coming into this. I asked Johnny Dawkins about that. He said that is the unknown, how everybody would mesh.
And I mean, I almost would have liked if Debo Coleman would have started, and then Jalen Sellers comes off and plays on the second unit, because imagine a guy like Jalen Sellers playing against the second unit of most teams. He is going to go crazy and get buckets.
But if you're Sellers, you're saying, I'm your guy, right? So I should be in the starting 5. So Biduga gets the rejection. And Mayo feeds him. Gives his called for
scoring.
And no fouls. That's been the issue, averaging more than 6 fouls per 40 minutes played. If they're going to keep him out there, he's got to prove that he can stay on the court. Great move by DeJuan Harris.
Johnny Dawkins will be saying to his team at halftime.
Johnson trying to get the corner. Bedinga and Harris were there. Adams flying to affect that shot, but Hall cleans it up. And after 11, one of the 11 newcomers on this UCF team, it was really just this guy, Johnson and Sellers, who returned from that team that upset the Jayhawks here last season. The push to Harris, and he's got his second bucket.
And those are the plays right there.
From the 6th-year man.
That is what you expect from a veteran right there. One of the best defensive point guards in the country, and he showed us why right there.
Can you be a leader when you're soft-spoken? As Paducah gets the feed from Adams. Because Harris, when you had a message for him earlier in this game, based off those outside shots.
It hasn't been falling. And they're giving him that shot for a reason. They're baiting him into shooting that.
That's the guy you want.
That's the guy, yes. That is the guy you want to get hot. That is.
And he is produced as much as any point guard in the game.
And I like this right here. This is something that I thought we would see earlier on in the game.
Uh-oh, look out! Store throws it down.
Well, with the 2-3, they switch defense.
This building by mixing in a lot of zone. Mayo tries to save it. Benny Williams has it. 8 on the shot clock. Debo Coleman lets it fly, lets it rip. And now those outside shots starting to fall.
Debo Coleman once again shooting so well from behind the arc. I look for him to stay on the floor. They have to find a way to keep him on the floor for spacing purposes.
This is also a look Kansas fans have been hungering to see. Dickinson and Bedunga on the court at the same time. And one for Hunter Dickinson. And this is the lineup, the match.
And throwing the lob over the top.
Old school three-point play there by Hunter Dickinson. We're not even at halftime yet. 2-second difference on the game clock and the shot clock. Darius Johnson. Shaq Morris is why he's in the starting 5 for the defense. But Bedunga has shown he can guard the 1 through 5. Affects that. Williams, no. And that ball is tied up between Williams. Saw him. This shot clock violation with .1. There was no shot. You can get that off. Against West Virginia. When Kansas got back into the game, it was that defensive 2 on the clock to begin.
So it should be 2.1 on the clock.
So here comes Darius Johnson and Debo Coleman. They're coming back out for the final 2.1. Going to be actually Dickinson to inbound. And this is the look that they tried to get against West Virginia, but it's going to go back game. Now it's Darius Johnson to inbound. 2.1 for the Knights. The lob inside to Williams, some contact. Now the heave from Dickinson. And that will take us to halftime with Kansas in firm control, 44-25. A tradition that debuted in this matchup last season. It helped spark the Knights for a win. Sellers with the miss. Mayo to Harris. Harris got it back and puts it in. Now, Moore making his first start as a Kansas Jayhawk. Regular starter previous few seasons at Mississippi State. Adams with the touch inside to Dickinson, too easy. And the big fella's up to 2 games. He was electric in the first half against Texas Tech, and it was this man, Darius Johnson, that closed out the win. Sham. And he wasn't going to challenge Dickinson, but shows the touch for 2.
And that's one area in which he's shown that he has. He has that good touch around the rim to where he can step out and shoot the tray, or he has a nice floater, just like we saw Hunter Dickinson. But he has such great touch, and he's so skilled. I think you look at the skill set and the maturity of his game. You can't really wear him down and get him frustrated. Can
you speed him up? Because everything seems like it's in slow-mo. Is a gorgeous feed to Zeke Mayo. This game starts with what he does on the defensive end. Harris is the strong. Mayo, beautiful pass. Adams wants to rip the rim and does.
And it pays off to where now he's in one of the premier schools in college basketball.
Johnson in trouble, kicks it to Hall, trying to take Adams. Adams ain't taking that bait. He can hang with anybody, but Hall gets just enough, maybe a little extension. Legit, he's going to be a dude in the Big 12. Kansas patient. 3 on the shot clock. Mayo, the late kick. Harris for 3 and got it. Ice cold, DeJuan Harris.
I think that right there is where DeJuan Harris has improved the most. He looks more confident from behind the arc, shooting 50 from 3 in the last 3 games.
Still got that baby face. Zeke Mayo did not score fewer than 25 points.
We talked to him earlier. He just ran and raved about this young man.
Yeah.
How impressed he has been with him. He's the ultimate winner.
Sellers.
Oh my goodness.
I'll do it again, says KJ Adams. And the mean mug to last year's leading scorer. Adams on the other end. And will go to the line. That's a bad dude right there. With a lacrosse stick. It seems like they're basically all muscle. Gets his. Harris wants another one. Wide right. Adams trying to keep it alive. Harris, don't quit. He gets it back and puts it in. That is a young man that wants it. Moore with a hesitation. To the freshman for the flush. Great effort defensively, and it's paid off on the offensive end. After I mentioned they had those back-to-back games of at least 10 three-pointers. Moore back to Dickinson, too easy for the big fella. And Dickinson up on 27, getting dangerous. Oh, no good. A 52-4 edge and point to the paint. Advantage Jayhawks. Griffin tries to make it 2 more. But trying to convert. There's a transfer from Alabama, Rylan Griffin at the line. But it will send a message to the coaching staff who wants to be here.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think.
As this basketball. Here's Diggy. Not the biggest dude, but he can let it fly from outside. Here's Moore for 3. Wants it. Has it. Also, all 4 scores that need a high volume of shots and have Coleman coming off the bench? Or do you have that tough conversation with somebody? As Padunga, there's block number 9 for the Jayhawks.
Goodness. And this is no knock on Sellers. Because Sellers is a great player. And look at this block. Padunga high pointing the basketball, and he has so much upside. But Sellers is a great basketball player. He's a great option for this UCF team. But with the way UCF has been rolling as of late, I think that you should have kept the same starting lineup, in my personal opinion. J.J. Taylor unleashes the 3. Griffin fouled him, and so figure out maybe who's going to best handle that conversation of going to the bench. I mean, because even if the game needs to come off the bench.
And if you're UCF, instead of gets 1 of 3, you're hoping this was a fluky performance. Much in the same way, with all the talk of the loss against West Virginia for Kansas, that a lot of the Jayhawks faithful were hoping that that recent run was also fluky. But they're starting to figure some things out. If Rylan Griffin can consistently hit that shot, look out for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, I think that Rylan.
Oh
my
no!
Goodness.
Double-digit blocks now. Padunga racing the other way.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, him!
Oh, I bet you NBA scouts are licking their chops right now.
Key McClure, what just happened? Now it's Moore's turn. Adams, there was contact, no whistle. Back to Moore. Griffin, back-to-back threes. And Fogg out. Though with NIL, right? Just got to pony up maybe a little bit. And back inside with a kick out to Moore for 3. Moore rips it again.
But even that play right there, Lowell.
3 followed by an 8. Valuable minutes here, though, for a team in Kansas that's trying to gel, as Coit was trying to throw it up for Padunga. Didn't get it initially, but after recollecting himself, too easy for the big freshman.
And one thing you look at, it's not the fact that you're losing, it's the way you lose. I think the way that UCF is losing is what makes this disappointing, because it's a matter of effort. That's all it is. The effort on the defensive side of things when it comes to block.
Addition to the starting 5, something tells me that at least for the near future, Moore has locked down.
Great job on Darius Johnson. I mean, Johnson has had a really, really quiet night, and that was one emphasis that Bill Self talked about when we talked to him, is we're starting Shaquille Moore on Johnson to hopefully slow him down.
There's Dior Johnson.
A bit of rest, and it's a bit of learning a lot about these guys. How hard will they?
This is his program. Dickie Coit, step back, like he did back in the day for the Huskies of Northern Illinois, however does not connect. The push from Williams. Johnson got it to drop, and that's how the 2 freshmen and 3 transfers. Oh no, the freshman says, I'm not done terrorizing your day quite yet. Diggy for 3. Padunga with the block on one side. And Diggy Coit coming back with the 3 on the other.
And you can tell Coit is just a natural scorer. He missed the last 2 threes, but wanted another one.
You just missed one, King. And if you look away from a moment, Bidunga is going to do something to make you say, wow.
He runs in transition. His timing is so elite.
Johnson tries to turn the corner into the hands of Marquise Passmore, also a top recruit back in his home state of Florida. To Storr for three, and A.J. Storr connects his first outside make so far today. A.J. Storr just under 17 points per game for Wisconsin last season. Number 7 in the Big Ten. That's a feathery touch there from Dior Johnson. So why I say these are bound just about everything you could ask. 12 points, 6 of 8 shooting. He's got 5 rebounds, and the block shots also racking up 6 of those. 6 blocks for a freshman as Storr connects again.
I mean, yeah, I think that you have to feel good. I mean, you know, when you had the month of December like they had, you were probably a little concerned, a little worried, but I think if you learn anything about this team
in the past 3 games. Now,
that's all you need, especially when you look at today's type of bigs. Some bigs can step out and shoot the 3, but if you can be a lob threat, if you can protect the rim on the defensive side, you'll get paid in this game.
There's Storr. Hot second half for the Wisconsin transfer. I got one for you.
Thomas Robinson.
Nick Collison.
Oh, wow.
Back in 2000.
Wow.
As Rylan Griffin has 3.
Wow. Like I'm talking about from the jump ball. Coach Drew paused it on the jump ball.
No.
And was like, we didn't even do this right. So we went 2.5 hours in that film room breaking down everything. Then we go on the covers. He said, we're not leaving until you get it done. We weren't the one. And that is similar to what they're probably going to have to face. Their next few practices will not be fun.
Yeah, that's an understatement to say the least. Here's the freshman Passmore, wanted to dunk it down on Yosis, and he's still fighting inside. And there's a bucket for Dylan Wilhite.
It's plays like that.
Kick 3, no. Here's Coit. And Coit throws it up. Passmore almost brought it down. Taylor now in transition. And it's UCF's turn. It's Mikey Williams with the alley.
Yeah, at home, this is the response you want to see if you're Bill Self.
Diggy, in and out. Hendricks transition 3, too much. Break him down, young man. It's going to be off UCF. A test for Hunter Dickinson and company. Dickinson was in range where could have had career high in scoring if they needed it. And I'm not sure as Storr gets this, they even needed Dickinson at all in the second half. It does come up 1 rebound shy of an 8th double-double on the season. But Dub sets all that matters. And Kansas heard the chatter. The fans here actually want a bucket. They want 100 on the board if they turn against their own team. Or is it the Kansas fans who are now saying,
it's the Kansas fans.
There's
a lot of Kansas fans.
Goodness gracious. So 99-48, the final for the Jayhawks. They heard all the chatter about potentially starting 0-2 in conference play for the first time since 1991, when it was Roy Williams in the Big 8.